guys, Scott here from Outlaw Garage. It is transaxle time again on the channel. We've got a 928 here with popping headlights. We're going to talk to Chris, the owner, so let's take a look.
It's an original Australian delivery car. It began in Melbourne. It was delivered by Hamilton's.
Yep.
It then went up to WA for a few years. It was a collector car, so it was part of a collection up there.
Oh.
Then it got moved to Sydney. It was bought through the collection.
Yeah.
It moved down to Sydney. It was driven around a fair bit.
Yeah.
Then it disappeared for about 9 years. It was just stored away.
Wow.
Yeah. At which time the owner from Victoria bought it, and it became a part of a super fund. So it was stored away.
So not driven
Not
at all?
driven at all for about 10 years.
Because for those not familiar with Australia, super fund is kind of your retirement fund.
Exactly.
But if you buy an asset for it, you're not allowed to use the asset. So if you buy a car, you can't use it at all.
That's right. Correct. Yes. So it was a part of a 10-car collection.
Yeah.
At the time I bought it, the gentleman that had it needed some extra space. He had to get rid of 2 cars, and this was one of the ones that he decided to get rid of.
Wow.
So, although this collection was quite impressive.
Yeah.
And as soon as I came across it, I'd been looking for... I wanted an 8-cylinder.
Yep.
I've had 4 cylinders. I had auto-selling car before. Prior to this, I had an old 71 Chrysler.
Okay.
VH hardtop.
Yeah.
That was a very rare find.
Yeah.
Got rid of that. Went without a car, without a toy for about 2 years.
Yep.
And then my oldest daughter said to me, because I was looking around, I didn't know what I wanted. I knew I wanted something with an 8-cylinder. My oldest daughter said to me, "Dad, I've got this copper art thing of a 911 Porsche, which is hanging up in my room, so you've obviously wanted one." And I looked at the back of it, and it was from grade 5. I'd done it in grade 5.
Wow.
And so I thought, yeah, I'd love to have a Porsche, but I want an 8-cylinder, and hence the transaxle V8 Porsche.
And a perfect car. So the colour is...
Yes, the colour is moss green.
Moss green.
So, of course, everyone's like, oh, green, it must be a moss colour. No, it's after Stirling Moss.
Oh.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I read up on the history of it because I wanted to know why moss green. Is it because it's a mossy colour, mould, what?
Wow.
And it's due to Stirling Moss, yeah.
Because it's got a nice colour on the back as well, because it doesn't go white, and we'll show that on the rear in a minute with the Porsche. Yep. It's almost like another kind of greeny yellow on the back as well to kind of match the interior as well.
I'd seen decals and everything, and I wanted to do the side decal with the dark green line with the goldy, yellowy, greenish sort of Porsche symbol. But I decided against that and just went with the gold infill at the back. Yeah,
it's nice. So I think we're going to open it up and take a bit of a look, and we are going for a spin in it very shortly. So there we go, we've opened the heart of the 928, the big V8 there. It's really clean. So clearly your pride and joy.
It is, yes, very much so. I keep it clean.
Yep.
It did have an oil leak in it, which lasted about 2 years.
Yeah, okay.
And I thought, I've got to get that fixed. And it was something as simple as a seal in the back.
Was it hard to get to? Because sometimes in these, they can be a little bit more difficult to work on.
They did it without pulling out the engine.
Well, so that's easy then.
Yeah.
So as soon as you say my engine stayed in, that's a good job.
Which I'm happy about too, because it means they didn't fiddle with anything.
So here we go, just before we whack some GoPros in the car and go for a bit of a spin, we thought we'd take a look at the interior. It is an auto, there we go. A lot of them were though, weren't they?
They are. The manual's super rare to find.
Yeah.
It's not super rare, but they hardly come up on the market.
Looks a very original interior.
It is, yes, it is.
So here, I think we'll take a look.
And with the interior, there were two interiors. This is the earlier one, as in it's the original interior with the car.
Yeah.
But Porsche, the 928s came out with the later model 928s came out with a different feel leather.
Okay.
So this is more the Franco Cozzo style leather.
Yep.
Original European leather. as opposed to the harder leather that came out later on.
Yeah, okay.
You'll see with the driver's seat, which has been used a bit more, it's gone a bit, it's not as tight.
Yeah, okay. But you sat in it, driving it, and like you
Absolutely.
said, you take the kids to school, drive around in it. Not entirely a daily, but used a lot.
It is used. It's I'd like to use it a lot more, but it is used. Yeah.
All right, so I think we'll set up some GoPros, go for a spin.
Absolutely.
So very period correct colours.
Absolutely. Everything.
Yeah.
No colours or there's been no changes other than the stereo, the head unit.
Yep.
It came with an Alpine cassette deck,
Oh, okay.
which obviously got changed at some point.
Yeah.
I tried chasing down an original. They're available, but I didn't see. I like my music. I enjoy listening to it,
Yeah.
and I thought, well,
Having a tape deck's a little bit more difficult.
yeah, that's right. And so I thought, well, I'll get something with some hands-free as well, so I can use my mobile, answer calls, all of that thing while I'm driving.
So you were saying, been parked up in a collection, well, twice, nearly 3 times, I
Yeah.
guess. How many kilometres has it got?
It's showing 82,000.
Yeah, okay.
Now, the books show correctly all the 82,000, and that's it.
Yeah.
I can't say. I can't say whether it's been paused, whether it's been pulled out and rewound.
Because some of the collections obviously have that disconnect the
whole dash.
Yeah, the whole dash, and then when they come to sell it, it's the same kilometres.
That's right.
I get why some collections do that, and especially if you were a superannuation fund,
That's
you
right.
might want to demonstrate that you've not driven the car when you perhaps actually have.
Yep.
But still, 82 is not a lot,
No, that's right. It's
especially
not a lot
here
at
in
all.
Australia, because probably a lot of people watch the videos that are from Europe and from the US, and their cars there tend to be low kilometre, where here
That's right.
they're 250,000 kilometre cars,
Yeah,
where
exactly.
82 here is
Hardly
nothing.
anything.
Yeah, it is, yeah. No sunroof?
No sunroof.
Does
It's
Georgie's have a sunroof?
Yes, it does. And the sunroof's actually a delete. So they come with, and then you delete it.
Really?
Yeah. I found that out later as
So
well.
factory delete, or the
factory delete.
Factory delete. I wonder if that's a paid for option that you deleted,
Don't know.
because there's a bit of labour in that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And to get it right, it's a lot of labour.
Yeah.
The other thing is electric seats. I see a whole lot of them. The 81, 82 models all have electric seats. This doesn't.
Ah. Yeah, just thinking about that, because delivered to Hamilton's in Melbourne,
Yep.
and then they go, right, we're going to delete the
Sunroof.
sunroof.
Yeah.
Because I've got a friend who's had their sunroof deleted in one in a 993 and one in a 964.
Yep.
And then, you know, there's a fair bit of labour kind of pulling the headliner
Oh,
off
it's
and all
heaps of labour in it.
yeah. And then when they cut it, and then when you of course first welded in, I think a lot of the guys have had problems where when it's first painted, there's just a little bit of sinkage
Yes.
around where the
original hole.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then they have to go back, prep it again, and then paint it again, and then it's fine. But doing that back in the day,
Would have been.
yeah, but you never know. Like back in the day, they might have just gone, well, you know, we leaded it.
Yeah, either leaded it or just cut out another roof out of another car.
Yeah, crazy, eh?
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of that going on back then.
Yeah.
It's like Australian muscle cars, all the history there. You know, what happened to them all? All the Commodores, all the Fords,
Yeah.
where'd they all go? They've disappeared. There's no parts, there's nothing available.
Yeah, crazy. I hadn't even thought about that. And I bet it's leaded.
Yeah, that's right.
Because back in the day, in the factory, in the workshop in Porsche, they would have just gone, well, we lead that up and we send it out. Well, now
Precisely.
that's
now it's a no-no.
that's a skill and an art, and
Exactly.
you know, there's
And it's hardly ever done.
yeah, a lot of health and safety regulations about it now. But
Yeah, very much.
wow, and not an option that people pick very often.
No, not at all. And like, everything is optioned. Like all the wiring is there for everything to be part of the car. Electric seats, everything. They're all underneath the seat. They're all under the dash.
But just no electric seats.
Yeah. Which and I found all this out later, after I bought the car, after I'd done some research and found out a bit of detail about it.
Well, I guess it's the way that modern cars are going as well, where you hear about like upgrading on an app to get heated seats and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day they wired them up for everything and then just fitted what was required.
Precisely. Yeah.
Wow.
And my first drive in a Porsche was a 911 Targa.
Yeah. Okay.
I was 8 years old, and a family friend rocked up with one, and my parents and him were going out, and I thought, he said to me, "Come, I'll take you for a drive in a Porsche." And ever since then, it just sort of stuck.
Yeah.
That was it. I wanted a Porsche.
So you said you were a car guy.
Yep.
So this obviously isn't your first car.
No.
What's the bit of history behind that?
I started off, my very first car was a Sigma Scorpion, which is a two-door Sigma.
Yeah. Okay.
Loved it. Absolutely wanted one. It was sporty. It was a two-door.
Yeah.
At 18, it was everything. And I wrote that off 6 months into my license.
Oh.
Yes. Funnily enough, after that, my dad was driving up to the peninsula at one point, and he goes to me, "Oh, Chris, I found you another car." I'm like, "Okay, you know I like my two doors and all of that. What did you find?" He goes, "I found you a Nissan Skyline two-door, 1978 model." I thought, no way, that's great. I went and looked at it. It's like, I'll take it. I'll have it. Fell in love with this car.
That's a step up from writing one off and then okay, I'll have a GTR.
Yeah, crazy car. 78 model, insane, beautiful car.
Oh.
Drove that around for a few years. Did the usual. I mean, back then it was all about Newbury Street, the back of Lygon Street, Chapel Street, doing all the laps with all the boys, you know, going nightclubs, all of that. Burnouts, drag races, all of that. Been there, done it all. Loved it, enjoyed it. That car got taken off the road by the police.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a Canary back in the day with Dandy Drags. They decided, yep, we'll take this off the road. So while I was going through the process of getting the roadworthy for it, found out it had chassis rust and everything. Having come from the peninsula up in Frankston.
Yeah, okay.
And I thought, yeah, I'm not going to restore the car. I'll see what I can do with it. So I actually traded it unroadworthy and traded it for my second Scorpion.
Yeah, okay.
So a Sigma two-door again. At the time, keep in mind it was it was about 93, 94. So the Skylines hadn't become what they are now.
Yeah.
And they're all pretty much the same. Sigma, Skyline, it was that. And grew up a bit later on, decided I got a Honda Integra, 91 DA9 Integra, and that was where all my real car stuff started. I built that up. It was an auto selling car, had that in auto cell on the sound offs, so it was sound, looks. Used to do a few mountain runs with hypo runs with an old crew that was around in the day.
Yeah.
And they used to go cruising. We'd meet up at MIOB.
Yeah.
In the car park and just go out up the mountains, do our hypo runs and all of that. Had that car for about 8 years. I think it had 136 decibels in it as far as stereo goes. So had that, got married, decided time to settle down with cars and all of that. So I bought myself a WRX, got rid of the Honda.
And was that the old shape WRX? So like,
yeah,
they normally came like the blue.
Yeah, it was the Eagle Eye. It was a white Eagle Eye.
Yeah, okay.
07 model WRX.
Yeah.
You know, it was nice. It was a great car.
Oh yeah.
But
don't see many of them around on the roads anymore.
No, hardly any.
No.
And like everything has skyrocketed.
Yeah, they have, but I guess even at like JDM meets and things like that, you don't really see them around. And you know, okay, they're Subaru, but they don't really.
I think it's about the 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, you don't really see them, but they're a hell of a car.
totally different sounding.
Is it the exhaust or?
Yeah, and the exhaust it's not modified, it's just deleted. So I've removed the rear muffler.
It's not modified, it's
not.
deleted.
It's deleted the muffler and just put a pipe in place.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Another Porsche transaxle hits the channel with a 928 in moss green. Please drop the video a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you later, guys. Bye.